Hello everyone. Welcome to the Saturday team stream. You'll just have me today, Erothaur. I'll be doing a couple of one-step for meeting chat control runs. Let me know if the audio is okay or not. Mostly if it's not. If it's okay, you don't have to say anything. The way I'm going to be picking my character is I actually have a wheel prepared with all the kit names on it. So we'll be doing that. Got double time. Which is Violet base kit. For the start of this, I'll probably turn up the voting duration a bit. Start at 35 seconds. So the way this is going to work is you're going to be able to vote on all my rewards and such. Card rewards, artifacts, and also whether we save or kill bosses. We could even start the timer if we wanted to. Oops. So if you want to vote on the rewards, just type 0 through 0, 1, 2, or 3 in chat based on what's on the screen. Zero will skip for pretty much every voting screen. Otherwise, there's not too much reason to take or to not take anything. Except for cards, you might want to keep the deck thin, for example. Yeah, as expected, it's a little slow starting out, so we'll actually amp it up to 40 seconds. It's kind of hard to balancing since the last time I did this was on a very fast moving chat. Let's see. So, for the sake of draws, I'm just going to pick whatever I want, which I think in this case will be Ice Flow. I'll try to talk a little more about the cards. Most of the artifacts are pretty self-explanatory. They kind of just do what they say. We just started. We don't have an uptime command, but you can see the timer in the bottom left. It's how long we've been running. Cold Medicine is an okay frost card since it applies to frost. Ring of Fire does this. It's not very good for 3 in my opinion, but if you're going for a fire deck you might want it. And then Erothaur Armor is kind of just shield. It's okay on flow. I'm not a fan of it since it cracks your tiles though. It's okay out of flow too if you're building a shield deck. Looking like a draw between Cold Medicine and Ring of Fire, in which situation I'm gonna have to go with Cold Medicine, I think. So for the map, I think that I want to go to the shop, and I want to maximize rewards, which would mean middle path and then cutting into the shop. The hazards give you more EXP and more Sarah, which is the money. They also have a high chance of spawning Sarah piles and also hostages. The distress beacons give you very little EXP, but they usually will give you some kind of reward, be it healing or money. Occasionally artifacts as well. The mini boss gives you an artifact, which is always nice. And more EXP, I imagine. Chests kind of give you just money and sorry. Chests give you money and artifacts. So Zenith drops 2 bombs on me. Let's see, you guys are already voting 1, which, good. Boomerang's okay. I can't cast it, but if I could, it would be decent since it restores mana on him. Sweeper does that. I think you can probably get this to hit tiles extra times. So the best thing here I think is Blue Flame. It would bring us down to 2 mana, which means we can't cast Mana Steal, but it gives you a lot of mana regen, so I'd have to use my Buster less. However, Mana Vein's also just good, and Resistance Drain is interesting. I think it's an okay artifact. We're not playing Arya, so it's like, it's okay. I would probably agree with 1. So Zenith, I think, just cost me 65 money, so pay that investment forward right now. Oops. Fate Shield's kind of like a generic OK card on well, Violet in general, but especially Double Time. Use me shield, but as soon as it touches something, it removes the shield. This is really good on Invade Celicy. And it's okay on Reva too for burst damage on shield throw. Undertow is the flow option. It's an OK card. Mini Thunder is kind of just free. We do have a couple Frost and Flow artifacts. Should we try to do a Frost deck? I'm gonna take Mini Thunder here. Should we do a... What kind of deck do you want to go for? Because I can set focuses here, which will let us kind of get a better chance. Should we go for a Frost deck? So we have some synergy for that already. Jam. Fair. If we go Jam, I'm going to be removing a lot of the cards that we put in. I'll hold off for now. This one doesn't give us a card reward anymore. Frost Flow would be good with the existing synergy. Agreed. Well, maybe wait until after the first boss and see what we're doing before I set them. 0. Twilight. Both of these are pretty good. Defense doesn't affect shields, so there's that to consider, I suppose. There's a different artifact that makes defense affect shield. Okay. I am gonna take skills. Sorry, I know undershirt is the BN option. So mana is always good, however, I do kind of like adaptive armor as well. I think they're both pretty okay. Mana will let me cast more things. Thornmail is not great. It's like, I'll probably get hit a bit, but it's not much value, I would say, compared to the other two. Oops. So I actually really do like Glass Cannon. I don't think the Fragile is even really a downside at all, especially on the character we're playing. You just kind of get 4 spell power, 4.5 spell power actually. If you guys aren't aware, my starting artifact gives me spell power equal to half my Fragile stacks. So really this is 4.5 spell power until I get hit. Here we have some flow options. Fracture is kind of one of the cards that I like to put in flow a lot. Earthen Armor is a defensive option. I don't like Shard Toss. It's a little too random. Earthen Armor cracks my tiles, which is honestly the only reason I don't like it. It's actually an okay card. I just don't like to impede my movement. Fracture is just like, it does flow. On flow cast it does 140. It's an okay card. I think it's good. Out of curiosity, how often do you just skip cards? Since this is check control, I'll probably not be skipping any cards, is my guess. Unless we hit a deck that you guys really like. Like Poison memes or Jam memes often get chat to skip cards. In playthroughs where I'm in control, I skip cards a lot. I am gonna take Blue Flame here. 30 spell power won't really matter for the boss fight, I think. Frost isn't even affected by spell power. Mana Steal is still doing 90. It is Saffron. I think the removal is worth it. We're not going to be hitting enough for this to matter, however it's only 40 HP. Probably going to get a remove, and then I'll take this anyway. You think I'll need the removes? Probably right. So this is the vote as to whether we're going to save or kill the boss. Save is 0, and execute is 1, sorry. The difference in this is if you save them, they help you a little bit throughout the rest of the run. They also heal you for 400. And if you execute them, then I don't get a heal, but I get a purple rarity card, a purple rarity artifact, which can be a remove or an upgrade. The third option is always one of the two. And it also changes the ending boss. So if you save everyone, you fight Terrible. If you execute everyone, you fight Seraph, which also adds a whole new zone to the game. And if you beat it, you loop unless you've killed the shopkeeper. And if you kind of mix the two, you fight the gate. Now, there's actually no time limit on this. And reminder, you can change your votes as well. So I'll let you guys... I'll wait until the next vote comes in, and then we'll take whatever that is. It's just me here tonight. We're not on a time limit or anything. Saved everyone except the final boss on your win run. Coin flip. Whether you spare or execute the final boss doesn't really have much bearing. Alright, we're saving. I'm gonna do at least 2 runs anyway, so if you guys make me save everyone this run, I might just veto it and do a full execute run next. If you make me fight the gate, I'll just do whichever you vote for first. Skip? Really? I should be talking about the cards. I think Minefield is pretty bad. It's just... For 2 mana, I can't see ever wanting to use this. Revenge, I think, is an okay card. It can miss. And the prerequisite is having gotten hit. So I don't generally take it, but I think it's okay. 100 damage for 1 is pretty strong. You don't have aim on or anything. Air Slash, it doesn't do enough for 2 mana. I think it's kind of weak. We're definitely going to go the red path. We'll probably go to the shop. So what the red path does is it puts you in the dark world, and in the dark version of the map you will get, I think, more EXP, more gold, more money, sorry. And things will be harder. It's like a temporary luck upgrade. So you get better stuff and it's a little harder. And the shops are different, which you'll see when I get there. So here we have Undertow, double damage and consume. I actually kind of like that on Undertow. It's not really a bad card, but it's not exactly great. So it'll do 80 per hit. If they're in the back, it'll hit them twice. Classify is kind of just good. It applies Flame too, which isn't dangerous on this character. It's just extra damage. The Thermite artifact's quite good. Double Take is like your primary kunai gen card if you want to go kunais. This is necessary and you want like double cast and +1 kunai on it. And then you can have a really strong kunai run, honestly based just off that one card. However, we're not doing kunai, so it's of course not great for us. You can still run this in other decks if you have Fragile on kunais, just as a source of Fragile. Something to consider. A Lion is actually kind of a fun card. I think this can be pretty useful in situations, especially early on. As Shiso in particular, who starts with it, you can move things around in beneficial ways. You can save hostages in ways you otherwise couldn't. Meditates extra mana, however, obviously Violet doesn't have much problem with mana. I can just use Downbuster, which generates mana for me. Kinetic Wave is a flow card, which is... gives you 2 flow. I think this is one of the better flow cards. I wouldn't be unhappy to have this. It is maybe a little weak for 2 mana though. Glass Flute is super good. Enemies having Fragile, even if it's just 1 stack, is very powerful. Sunglasses are cool. Mana and Mana Vein is just, it's a good artifact. Base mana regen is just really strong. Sunglasses are cool, yeah. So it is tied, and as cool as the sunglasses are, if you guys leave it tied, I will take Glass Flute. I think at this point we're probably safe to set Anima and Hearth, since it looks like we're going for Frost and Flow. So I'll go ahead and do that. So Showdown's another source. It gives 1 Fragile to everyone, including myself, which is actually good because I get half spell power for every stack of Fragile. And now that does round down, so you can't actually have half a stack of Fragile. But on the other hand, Frostbolt is Frost, which is one of the synergies we have going for us at the moment. I think either of these are good. Wreath Roots in a circle. If you need root, it's pretty okay. I think this is one of the better sources of root, in fact, since it only costs 1. Terra, I see 0, I vote 0. It's fair enough. So I'm actually not going to take Snow Boots. And the reason for that is that there are actually things that can apply Frost to me, and these will root me if Frost is applied to me. It's actually really crucial that you don't get this if you're doing looped runs, because it can kill you. It's really, really bad against Celicy when she is able to apply Frost to you, which I think is only Celicy 7, but... Cell Soul is kind of just free. Pretty happy to take spell power as well, especially for random. And then I think we're going to refresh. I don't think Mana Vein is enough for me to pay health for, or pay for in general, to be honest. Like, if I'm not going to pay health for it, I'm not going to pay money for it. Is there anything I want to remove right now? I don't think so, actually. Pretty happy with the deck. As for upgrades, double cast on some of the Frost stuff would be nice, but we don't really have great Frost. Frostbite's really good. I'll give 1 upgrade for Frostbite. You guys get to choose this. I did get double cast, which makes it cost 1, but it'll pop frost twice. It'll apply 6 frost, which is really good. There's also flow, which I think we are building some flow, so it's not the worst. However, I think it's considerably less value than double cast. Double cast is basically 1 mana deal 300 damage right now. And then the flame on hit is, I think, actually okay as well. I've grown on this a lot. If you get thermite, it's a very powerful upgrade. Double cast on 0 cost. Alright, so now we'll refresh the shop a couple times. We'll take this, I will take this. I probably should have refreshed before I bought the upgrade. Although 60 for an upgrade is really good. Oh, we have 2 upgrades as well. How did that... Anyway, it's not... Pay attention to the game eventually, I swear. Poison Vial can actually be good sometimes. It's like free. I'm gonna take the mana as well, I think. We don't have enough fire generation or any. Is it only Glassify? It's only Glassify. I'll roll one more time. Selfire is actually like the worst thing you can get. So I'm going to remove that, but I am going to take it. You can remove packs and you still get the beneficial part. Could have used Poison Vial on the GD key run. You're right. So I think I'm going to take Mana Gem as well. Kind of all of these are good. I don't think we're going to be casting fast enough for Ruby to rack up much damage though. So I'll just take the Mana Gem. So Tremor is one of the good flow cards in my opinion. I think it's very strong. You can actually upgrade this and end up getting double cast, and then it always fixes its panels, which is something we'll probably try to do if we take it. Time slow can be okay. We don't have anything that is hard to aim, so I don't really think time slow matters too much for this. We do have 3 upgrades, so we'll upgrade Tremor at least once. And then maybe Cold Medicine as well. Although that's not that big a value card. So maybe even Fracture would be better. We'll upgrade Fracture and Tremor for now. Tremor first. Out of these, I think Piercing is the best. Flame on hit, 10 shield, or Piercing. Flame on hit's okay too. It's no longer a Tremor, it's now a Spear. Do you guys want to try to get the double cast on Tremor, or should I upgrade Fracture and something else? I'll let you guys decide. think I'm leaning towards Trimmer, personally. Actually, yeah, let's do Trimmer. So we can do restore half mana cost, gain 40 damage, but every time we cast it, it loses 10 damage. Well, every time it hits something. There's also 25% flame chance and restore half mana. You can actually skip upgrades, which is fair. The reason you would want to do that is to make it cost less next time. So the plus 40 damage one is interesting with piercing because every time it hits something, after we've hit something 4 times with Tremor, it's actually going to start dealing less damage. After we've hit 5 times too. So it's like, are we going to cast this 5 times against a boss? The answer is probably not. I'm probably going to take it over half a mana. Oh, cheater. That's why I don't like cracking finals. That's on you, that's super on me. That was very much my fault. Alright. Let's see. Alright, Shield Riva. It's probably a guaranteed win, to be fair. So here we have Magic Claw, Frostbite, and Transfuse. We don't have Self-Fragile, so Frostbite's actually not great. Transfuse is pretty good, honestly. I think it's an... If you need mana regen, this is a good card. Magic Claw I think is the best here though, it's just super strong. It applies Fragile, it does... the second hit of this will actually pop the first Fragile and then leave another Fragile, so this does really good damage. It does 150 damage for 2 and leaves them fragile. When I was pushing the Hell Passes, I actually took this on Reva almost every run, and I used Shield Reva to beat all the Hell Passes. Well, most of them. You know, everything after 11. As for the Synergy, probably leave it as is for now. I'm gonna take the full top path here. So here we have fire. We could try to do a fire deck. Shields Up is the we want to win card. To be fair, Fire Ring I think costs too much, and PK Fire is... It doesn't do a lot, it's okay. I feel like this would need to be able to get a 1 mana and however % damage effect. It is a lot of fire for 3 mana, but at the same time it's like You need to generate 3 mana to cast this. I wouldn't want it to be 2 mana, to put it that way. If we want to go shields, Bismuth is an option. I think it's not. I don't think it does enough. Even in decks that cast really fast, I don't think Bismuth is very good. Like, you could put this in Kunai or Virus Spell and I would still not be happy to have it. Get hit works with Reflect, right? It does, yes. I can Reflect and I think it still procs Panther Habit. I think Mana Vein was the best artifact there, though. Mana Steel is does okay damage. As an only Trinity source, it's only okay, I would say. It does refund the mana on hit, which makes it usable. Ion Cannon I think is fine. I don't think this is a bad card. If you have a reason to want to crack panels, I think this becomes pretty good. And Sword Row, I think at 2 costs it becomes one of the weaker root cards. You really don't want your root to cost 2. That's really all it does as well. It's not even easier to aim than 1 mana alternatives. Okay, Blue Flame or Undershirt. We actually don't start with any 3-cost cards, so I think Blue Flame is just the good option here. Undershirt, I think, is actually not great on Shield Riva because it doesn't affect shields unless you get an artifact that makes it do so. But if you do have the artifact, it's okay. And you could take it just as a forethought in case you get the artifact later. Looks like it's going to be Blue Flame. Happy to have it. Level up, we have Medkit, Tessellate, or Pinwheel. Tessellate's very good. It lets you use Trinity a little more easily, especially on characters who can't generate it and don't have much Trinity in their deck. Pinwheel does synergize with my starting artifacts. It lets me move faster after a shuffle, which lets me generate more shield. However, I will say that I don't really abuse this very much, and I kind of don't like haste in general. It is, however, better than skipping, so... Tried Twilight. I respect it. Mint Tea. Restore 1 mana when frost damage is dealt. I think this should probably count if frost damage is dealt to me. 4 zeros. Skip, really? So the only reason there is an artifact cap in the game, once you hit 50 artifacts you can't have any more unless you remove some. Which you can do, you can use removes on artifacts. You just scroll over to them and hold triangle like you do for anything else. Does cost a removal. That would be the only consideration to skip something though, unless it has a actual negative effect, which this doesn't. However, it also doesn't do anything for us and probably won't for the duration of the run, so I'm not really against skipping anyway. As for this... Cold Medicine, Shotgun Skewer. Shotgun is mostly only good on Celicy. Cold Medicine is good in Frost. Skewer is good in Jam. Skewer is kind of okay just on its own. It's 60 damage for 0. Kind of it costs 2. Costs 2 later. But it actually can only become better when you get things that synergize with Jam. You will be skipping. I hope you guys aren't skipping to try to damage my chances of winning, because with this deck I've already won. If you add nothing to the deck, I win any route right now. Like, this run's already over. I don't need anything else. Jam! This is a really bad jam card, however. It's not very good. Really bad is probably an overstatement, but it's not a good card. I do not willingly put this in jam decks when I build them. Let's see... I honestly don't think I won anything here. Could maybe upgrade Shield Beam. We'll buy an upgrade for later. We won't use it yet. You can force jam decks. Would you like to do Terrible or Seraph? Or Gate? But Gate won't come in until next boss. I will say for this build, Gate is the hardest by far. Zero is save, spare is 0, and then 1 is for executes. Alright, cool. You can also change votes. However, this one has no time limit, so I'm gonna go. Oh, I missed. Oops. Scuffed streamer. Calculate it. Zigzag does this. Bad card. Super bad, really bad. Actually just bad. I can't imagine ever wanting this in your deck. For 2 mana as well. This is gonna do what, up to 70 damage or something? I don't know. How much is it hitting that rock for? That's a lot of hits, to be fair. I don't like this card. I think it probably upgrades decently well because it hits so many times. Erothaur I've talked about. Pull costs 65 money to remove. This can actually be good sometimes. It's really not good in my deck right now, though. We're gonna make mistakes again. This is like... Caltrops I don't think is very good. I've talked about these two as well. We don't have breaks energies, so Ion Cannon doesn't do much for us. Sword Row I think is too expensive. Also, we don't really need Root. Caltrops and Minefield are... interesting. To be fair, you can make Caltrops do stuff. You just need other Kinesis cards. It actually synergizes with Pull, however, Pull's not in our deck, so it doesn't matter. Do we want enemies to start with 1 Frost, or not? This doesn't do anything for us. There's not really any downside to not taking it, though. We've already saved a boss, so we can't loop. We're unlikely to hit the artifact cap. Did I say killed? I meant saved. I skipped. Okay. My bad. Earthworm is hard to set up. Invalid run, you're right. My bad. This run doesn't count. This... looks bad. I mean, it hits really fast, but you would need an upgrade to make this usable. Upwind is another one of those Kinesis cards that just doesn't do anything for its mana cost. And yeah. Yeah, but you can't move. Yeah, exactly. You're stuck. I don't like any of the can't move cards. I think they're all not useful. I don't want to say bad. Because, technically speaking, they're not bad, they're very efficient. No, there's definitely such a thing as a bad card. Earthen Armor, for example, cracks your tiles. Not very good. Earthen Armor is actually fine, I just really hate tile cracking. I think I've talked about all these cards. Upwind. Just doesn't do anything, man. It's like we're taking Earthen Armor. We do only have 2 mana at the moment. There are a lot of 3 mana spells and or double cast upgrades that having a 3rd mana would open up. There's also Rock Tumbler's okay, we don't really have flow though. Thornmail doesn't do a whole lot. One. Looking like 1. Can probably turn the voting timer down a little bit. Take 5 seconds off. Oh, do we want the pet turtle, chat? Do we want it? Remember last time it survived for so long? Why would you not want a pet turtle? GDQ chat thought that I couldn't be trusted with pets because they kept dying. Hyper Beam. This card's pretty bad. It does 200 damage for 3, pushes you back, and it reduces your spell power. And we got Poison and Undertow. Sure, fine. These are both good cards in their archetypes. That said, I don't really take Undertow very often. And I almost never go Poison. Oh, Hyper Beam's probably okay. I think it would need upgrades or synergies to be super useful. It does lower spell power, but to be fair, it doesn't really affect my deck. So if anyone doesn't know, you can press G on keyboard or triangle on PS4 controller, or some letter button on a Xbox controller, and that snaps your pet to your tile. You can also unsnap it. This makes it a lot easier to keep them alive. Also removes clutter from the field. Ooh. What's our mana regen? Do we upgrade anything? Shield Beam and Magic Claw? Probably. Wait, Magic Claw is 2... Yeah, Shield Beam and Magic Claw, I think. Do Beam first. Fragile on hit is really good. Chance to leave Flame is honestly okay. This hits twice, so does 2 25% chances to leave the Flame. So there's a 20% chance for splash damage. Or sorry, does 20% splash damage. Which isn't... This doesn't really do anything, to be fair. I like apply Fragile on hit on my Shield Beam. This is technically better if we get Thermite. Giving me choice. I think I'm gonna go for the Fragile. If I already had Thermite, I would take Fire for sure. I'll take Magic Wand now. Double Cast is super efficient on 2-cost cards because it doubles the effect without doubling the mana cost. It's only 50% up, so you get a huge net gain on value. Poison on hit doesn't really do a whole lot, and the 25% chance to hit twice is just like worst double cast. Would the 25% hits apply Fragile? Sure, but so would the double cast hits. I am tempted to skip here. I'm gonna skip. I would rather have an easier time upgrading it again than a 25% chance. Do we want to save Terra? Do we want to execute Terra? At this point, executing any boss would put us at the gate. Saving them all will put us at terrible. Okay. I think the hardest boss for us would be Hazel, which is why I went in first. I want to get Hazel out of the way first. Unfortunately, it's Shiso, which is also annoying because he moves so fast. But do we want Thornmail or not? Do you guys think I'm gonna get hit? Yes. Understandable. What's our timer looking like? Almost at an hour. What? Focus, Fate Shield, or Preload? So Preload reduces shuffle time by 1 second, but it costs 2 mana, which takes us more than a second to generate. So I think right now it's inefficient to take Preload. Focus actually doesn't work on any of the things that we're using. At least not very well. Fate Shield is good for a nice shield hit. I can abuse this to get plus 200 damage on shield throw. So I will take Fate Shield. Yeah, focus doesn't work on shields. It does increase the damage of shield throw, diag beam, shield beam, and magic claw. However, compared to their base damages, it's not a big deal. Fate shield I can use for burst damage, and if I actually throw my shield right before it hits something, if my shield's still in the air, it actually doesn't, I don't lose the 200 shield. Shame that this doesn't go to the shop. I am gonna take it still though. I'll just take the bottom path. Actually, overall, I think the top path is gonna be more valuable, even if I don't go to the shop. So that's what I'm gonna do. It didn't mislead you. It doesn't. Focus is useless for our deck. The best thing it applies to is Shield Beam. Plus 4 damage per cycle is nothing. It's super not worth it. Out of these, I don't think anything is useful. The Beam Crystals are kind of just... It would cost me 65 money to get rid of them. Ion Cannon costs 2, so it would annoy me. I'd probably also get rid of this. Frostbite is free, so it would at least stay on the deck, probably. Do they not effectively give you stuff to toss in the way of enemies? They do, but like... I think they're just not enjoyable to use. And don't do much. To be fair, it's only a 1 mana cost version. At 2 mana, I think this card is useless. You could potentially use it at 1 mana. At 1 mana, I think it's probably good. I just don't enjoy the card. Excuse me. It's gold rarity. It's bad, but it's gold rarity. This only does 160 damage. It does give me 100 shield. I also can't cast it, to be fair. Costs 5 mana. But this literally does less damage than... oh, it does comparable damage to Magic Claw. It does 100 more damage. I can't cast that. Resistance Strain or Undershirt. Reminder that Resistance Strain works on me and I have nothing that applies poison. 1. You got me. Undershirt doesn't work on shields unless I get an artifact that makes it do so. So neither of these are really very useful. Honestly, Resistance Strain working on me is not a big problem. So I think either would be fine. where Resistance Strain might be more likely to do stuff if I get the 20 poison per enemy artifact. I think the armor's better though, so I do agree. I would probably take the armor too. Can you cap out on artifacts? Yes, but it's 50, which is going to be 2 full rows on the screen. So we almost certainly won't. The only way you can really do that is if you're looping. Yeah, it's super not going to happen. Oops. So actually, something I didn't consider, this card actually synergizes super well with Shield Beam, because it creates 2 things that I can then shoot with Shield Beam, and it gives me 2 shield procs each. So just by playing Beam Crystals before Shield Beam, I gain an extra 160 shield if I fire down that row. And then it does 120 damage. So that's something I'd never consider if I didn't end up with it in a chat room. Yeah, exactly, Riz. It's pretty cool. One of the reasons I like chat runs so much. So Focus again doesn't really do anything for us. You give us 4 extra damage per cycle on Shield Beam and Magic Beam, and like 6 extra damage per cycle on Diag Beam, 2 on Shield Throw. Fissure, card's not that bad, but like 80 damage for 2, and it cracks panels, which is actually negative if you don't have synergy for it. I don't think it's very good. Revenge, I wouldn't be mad to have. It's an okay card. Just 1 mana, 100 damage. You don't have to aim it, don't have to think about it. Oh, that's the other thing. If you spawn these on something, it actually does... When you spawn things on top of an enemy, it does damage equal to the structure's health. So if it overlaps with an enemy, it just does the 60 damage. Prophecy does this. This comes in super slowly and just locks me out of a row for like 6 seconds. I don't like this card. Earth Prayer. I don't like. I think this is a bad card. It is pretty good in flow because it's a net gain of 2 mana. However, usually mana can be a bit of an issue in flow. Entrench gives me shield. If I have Fragile, it doesn't root me. I don't personally enjoy Entrench, but I do think it's a pretty good card. Shield Riva, or Beat Riva, I guess, for that matter. You can deflect, so it's not like that inconvenient to be stuck for 2 seconds. I probably won't remove it. So that's a tile break synergy. It's one that would technically benefit us. Earthen Armor would give us an extra 50 shield. So this would bring Earthen Armor up to 90 shield on casts. If I cast it somewhere where it hits all tiles, it would give us at least 30 extra. Don't take it for granted. Wow, that's a rude synergy. I don't like that Shiso. I rooted myself so he came in to hit me on this attack. Ooh. So that ding you heard was miracle proccing. Oh, we still have the turtle. Why was he rooted? Oh, was he trying to go to the broken tile? That's really funny. I think we're keeping the shield. Yeah. Easy. Why is my revenge aiming for me? Did I really do self-damage last? How? What did I do that counted as self-damage? No. Yeah, it does. That's definitely true, Raze. Zero. Alright. Celicy, so this should be... I mean, all of these bosses are easy, whatever. Oh, I haven't been hit, right? Oops. See, I took damage on purpose there to make revenge usable. So here's what Blade Bay does. Every time you shuffle, puts out an AoE. These can hit each other, so it's kind of funny that he did it like that. I've honestly never used this card. So I literally can't tell you how good it is. I think it's not good, because it can be destroyed really easily. And a lot of the time you don't shuffle that often. Doubling its HP to 160 when you have Fragile is also really not a big deal. Wait, to 100? It only has 50 HP, right? Hard to tell in the preview. That looks a lot like 80. Part of the fun of chat runs is trying to make the streamer use cards I've never bothered to touch. I agree. I think that's pretty fun. It oftentimes gets me to use new cards as well. For example, Beam Crystals, which is surprisingly good in combination with Shield Beam, although it would be slightly worse in combination if it costs 2 mana. This card gives you almost no reward. You get 2 money for killing with it, and usually you'll be casting it without killing. a lot of the time, so it doesn't honestly net gain you pretty much anything at all. I don't think this card is very good. If this didn't cost 2 money, I still think it would be only okay. Well, actually it would be 1 mana for 100, which would be quite good. But I don't think the effect would be that overpowered. I think thematically it should stay costing 2 money. Only being rewarded for 2 additional money on kill though feels pretty bad. I think there's room to buff that. However, I also don't really think it needs to be buffed. We want flow synergy. I don't think I have any flow. Earthen Armor gives flow, but it doesn't do anything on flow cast. So much shield generation? Yeah. Lots. I think Shield Reva is also like the easiest character. Maybe Invade Celicy once you get your head wrapped around her. Yeah, there are definitely payoff cards, but every time you cast anything, it consumes 1 flow stack, even if it's not a flow cast card. So it's kind of hard to utilize in our deck. There's potential though, potential for sure. It's better to have than to not have. Anubis is a card that people seem to like a lot. I think it's only okay. It's decent value. You put this in poison decks for sure. I've seen people who like to just take this card in any deck because it's, what, 80 damage to everything over time. I don't think it's quite that good, but I think it's definitely a mainstay in poison. It's just kind of slow for non-poison builds, I think. Oh. Wow. It considers the bomb as the thing that hit me. Not the enemy. Uh-oh. The missile launcher looks like a toilet. So Rock Cycle is one of those flow payoff cards. Not that we have much flow, but 1 mana for 60 isn't bad. That's okay value. Granted, the poison card also does 60. It applies 60 poison, I mean. So maybe 1 mana for 60 is not great. I guess in a vacuum this card's not very good. I'm not taking it now then. You've given me the option. It has piercing though. Alright, fine, I'll take a Malvern. We don't really... Oh, we do have Citrine, so we would gain things from dealing fire damage. We gain 0.2 mana regen. Plus, if we do end up getting Thermite, dealing fire damage would be very good. Well, actually not that good. About as good as Spell Power, which in our deck is not great. Mana Vein is kind of just always good. However, we do have 1.3 mana regen, so it doesn't matter that much. This was largely a irrelevant decision. I would probably consider Blaze of Glory the best outcome. Is this actually a Dark Path? Huh. Do I take Cell Fire and then remove it? With the removal it gives me. Hardened Shields would be nice. Oh, Hardened Shields would be nice. We have 1 undershirt, 4 defense. I'll take it. I honestly doubt that it'll save me 180 health, but why not, right? This is a net gain of 30 health. Oh, we need Thermite. Okay. Let's just look for healing. No, but it net gains me 30 health. What do you mean I can't take it? I would gain health gain. Rude. This gives me max health. Battery, okay. We're pretty safe now. Should I upgrade something as well? Yeah, you can actually click on the shopkeeper. She says stuff. She has over 300 confirmed lines. Do we upgrade something? Upgrade Entrench. I don't know if this can get no roots. Double cast is actually fine on Entrench. It only adds like half a second because they overlap. I heard that piercing used to make Fate's Shield never technically hit the target, so you used to keep the shield, which would have been really funny. Try Magic Claw again. You use second chance at hit twice. Although we do have Thermite, so actually the fire on hit is potentially really good now. Consume, heal gain 5 max HP. Good on 0 cost cards. I don't know if you would take it in an upgrade unless you're trying to fight me. But you'd rather fight me with the 25% chance to hit twice, which I skipped last time. 25% chance of 4 hits. I would assume that it's on cast. No, it's definitely on hit. I think it's on hit. It's like every time it hits, it's a 25% chance to hit an extra time. So it's 2 25% chances. That has to be how it works. Because it's not on cast. 1 in 16, that's still not bad. It's not. I wouldn't consider it great. It is more damage than Flame. You guys tried to take it over double cast last time, which was a 100% chance to hit 2 more times. So I had to skip, but... Oh, buy shield. Oh, I have Fragile. How about that? Was I root it? So much shields. There's a lot of shields. This is why we get less shield on shuffle now. What? Salve? Technically, if he could hit that rock in the preview, it would break the rock. I wonder if this would work on the gate back when you could pull it. Is the gate the structure? Break your little gun crystals. Oh, you're right. This would actually pair pretty well with the gun crystals. Break the one in the back and it breaks both. Gives you 100 shields. I'm gonna need to remove Blessing of Susano. I'm sorry. It's just been sitting there bothering me. Oh, it's good against Hazel too, who we haven't fought yet. Oh my god. Really? The movement curse is actually not dealing any damage to me. Revo's starting artifact on the shield kit generates 1 shield every time you move. So it's actually a net gain of 0. Salvage is gonna kick Hazel's butt. I'm gonna get 100 shield for free every time I draw it. Oh yeah, Hazel was guaranteed to be here. I've already fought Shiso. Each kind of region has 2 bosses linked to it. The forest is Hazel and Shiso. Fire is Saffron and Gunner. The mountains are Riva and Terra. And ice is Violet and Celici. So booster shot's kind of interesting because the cast is spread out a little bit. So you can actually throw the healing one, miss, and then move and throw the poison one. Does it say it casts the second one the first one hits? If it says so, that's the case. I do not recall, to be honest. I had thought the point of it was... To be fair, I never take that. I thought the point of it was so that you could do that. It was always my understanding of the card. And even so, I never took it, because it's just too much to think about it. I don't really care. I mean, that's true, Riz, but that's boring and no fun. So... Counter Strike gives 100 shield, does 140 damage. It's pretty decent. This is pretty good with double cast. Tremor has fragile and hits. It would be kind of free if Tremor had double cast. It would be really, really good. Counter Strike definitely the best one here. Happy to have it. So the way you get Diag Beam to hit every time, for anyone who's not quite sure or struggles with it, if you stand on the same or inverse tile as the target you want to hit, it will always hit the tile they're standing on. Same or inverse, if like you mirror the field. Virus Spell is really only good in decks that consist of only Virus Spell. It's like pretty decent in those. We don't need Meditate. Skewer is not very good for our deck. I'll be honest, I didn't even see that hostage. Did that just double Miracle? No, Miracle's the Dong. What was that sound? Our defense affects shields right now, which is a consideration. Spell power doesn't really do that much for us. That said, even if I roll 40 money paper wall, it's not great. I think that sound was a double hit, right? Ah, yes, you're right. Yeah. I forgot that we had the double hit. Why would we want to lose 4 defense? Well, the artifact gives you 4 spell power. So for builds that have a lot of hits, it's really good. Our build doesn't really have that many hits, and even the cards that do hit a lot do a lot of damage on their own. The exception of Diag Beam and Shield Beam, which scale okay with spell power. What are we taking? Scales? I agree. It's good. It's not really that obvious, but what Shiso does here is he actually throws you money, I think maybe experience, but also he throws you an artifact. You don't get it until your next reward screen though. So I don't think many people know. Why is Turtle? Turtle is an artifact that we got. Whenever it gets hit, it throws a little shield gen thing, like shield catch. We can pick it up. I removed the 5 cost. It's gone. I might take Adaptive Armor since this affects our shields now. I'm tempted to take Violet, but if I'm gonna take Violet, I might as well just take Mana Gem. Mana Gem puts us at 5, which is still a good number to be at. I'll take a remove just in case we need it. Summon stuff. Bully. Wait, we hit her for half. Why do we have 1,000 shield? What is our deck? Guys want to save everyone, hey? Gonna wait till the last opportunity, and then you're gonna make me fight the gate. It's gonna be awful. This is on GDQ, we don't want blood. To be fair, last time they were very kind. Alright, do we want Unicorn Bomb? GDQ also spared everyone? The first time they killed everyone and then I lost in Eden. Like the first fight in Eden. We're good to take 5 more seconds off the timing. Back to 30. Thought it was more like the first frame of the first fight. You're right. The first attack of the first fight. I died. I'm like blind to this card. I didn't even realize it was there. Miss Me Shield does give me 60 shield. I lose 60 shield if it hits a target, which is going to be pretty fun if you guys make me fight the gate, but if I do hit something, it has a 25% chance to flame with that upgrade, so I mean, not the worst. It's not bad decisions. I mean. Oh, oops, that was a hostage. You're the bloodthirsty one though. I didn't mean it. Alright. Normally Cold Stone's a pretty okay card because it does 100 it does 200 damage. Honestly, making it a 1 cost for 100 is still really good. That's a cool upgrade on it. The bonus damage is not nice, although we're unlikely to cast it 5 times. As for these, I wouldn't be that upset to have Poison Dart or Smog, but I've been given the opportunity to skip. So I'm going to do so, even though Smog gives 10 shield. Damn. My shield throw is literally bottom deck. Getting wrecked by the delay, you have to read the cards. Understandable. I can put the time back up 5 seconds if it was more comfortable there. You don't want the jam synergy. Alright. Oh god. These cards I mostly don't like because they're expensive. Well, Hellfire self-hits, which is not nice. Honestly, the fact that it can target your field isn't even that bad. It's the fact that it overloads the screen. Firestorm just costs too much. This one has double caster, which is even worse for screen overload. I will put the delay back up. That's all good. We don't have many rules here. You don't have to worry too much about caps. Unless it's really aggressive, it's not going to get removed. Catch those hands. Right, as long as we're all sensible people, we don't need to worry about that. So I've actually grown on Sequencer, and having it cost 1 is actually a really good way to set up Trinity. It gives you 3 stacks of Trinity, so it's really good on Trinity decks, even at 2 mana. There's the poison vial. We've skipped to the poison thing twice though. 5 mana's super comfy. I don't think we need more mana at this point. More mana is always nice, mind you. I'm never opposed to more mana. And I do think it's better than the other two. So the other two don't really do anything. Headseeker does a little bit, but I mean, we're not hitting that often, so 40 damage missile on 10%. Railgun's actually a really good card. Even though it generates 2 jams, which is honestly an upside if you have synergies for them. It hits for 150, which is pretty strong. If you get this early on especially, it's a pretty decent card. I'm feeling fine on max HP. Speed loader is just great. See speed loader, you take speed loader. Oh yeah, you know we're taking Pet Kitty. 2 pets. Oops. Oh my gosh. These ones are such a nuisance. The kitty throws a 3-way spread of frost balls every time you cast. At point blank range, it applies full frost. Hello, Dragon Nature. It's probably wrong. Dragon Nature, I assume, is preferred. Don't mind me. But yeah, the Frost Kitty is really good. At point blank range, every time you cast a spell, it's like a free extra. Can you reflect the shield catch somehow? Nah. Not if you, because it doesn't hit you. Let me see if I can... Of course it's at the bottom. Doesn't do anything. And meditate's not that bad. Oh my god. This is one of the problems I find with large decks, is I often struggle to keep track of both what I'm trying to do and what the boss is doing. It just complicates things so much to have a large deck. If you had the Reflect card up. Well, the Reflect card works the same as Riva's Buster Reflect. Both our pets are dead? Yeah. That's the problem with pets, they just die super fast. The turtle actually lasted a long time though. I'm impressed. I think the turtle is more distracting than it is good, but still. That's a lot of shield. It's alright. Look how much shield this is. 340 shield. Once, mind you. Costs 5 mana. 0 cost, consume, heal, and gain 5 max HP. Don't mind me, definitely not just making sure I have a removal. Honestly, since our deck is so big, this isn't even the worst. Generally speaking, the rings are pretty bad though. Holy hell, one. One looks like this. Can be very strong, however it's not in our deck, so I'm gonna take Diamond Ring. Has a 25% chance, so while you're holding it, it doesn't do anything, but you can still cast it for 2, and it does 40 damage on hit, and does hit, so it has a chance to apply Flame. No, I don't think it's bad. It's fine. See, it just killed him. Blades Creek. And cracked them. That's awful. Double cast though. Shield synergy? How? Where? Can break them for more shield. Oh, true. It does give me a bunch of shield. You're right. Granite. Chat. You know I have to get rid of that, right? Why do I have 300 shield already? That 10 defense would actually be pretty good for us. We have tons of mana regen, so we can spare 0.3, and this works on our shields right now. Need wings. Yeah, if I get wings, Blades Creek becomes really good. Yeah, negative mana regen's really bad. You can't actually get negative mana regen, and it's not a fun time. But we have tons of regen. Because of the possible haste. We already have haste on shuffle, which I'm not utilizing at all. Yeah, I'm also not a big fan of haste. I don't like it. One mana eternity cannon. 50% damage though. You, Grizz. Like how like a fifth of our artifacts are just mana regen? Yeah, and some of them even do literally nothing because the pets died. So I have to look for the wings. It's like mandatory. Oh, that's almost the wings. We can't afford them now even if we roll into them. Keep it for you guys. Oh no. Oops. What did like 1200 damage? The blades did? Really? I didn't see them hit anything. Sure they didn't do 1200 to me? Alright, we'll fight terrible. The blades would have been hilarious against the gate though, I just want you guys to know that. Forget how to dodge that one. That wasn't too bad. I don't remember how to dodge the bullet hell attacks very well. Our shield gen was nuts though. Literally insane. I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break during the credits, and then we're gonna play one more run. I have return. We're not done, no. The timer in the bottom left is going to hit at least 3 hours before we end. Probably the next run after that point is when I'll stop. Yeah, the Bladeskrieg was crazy. Let's draw it. Of course it's bottom deck. Every time I want to show something off this run, it's bottom deck. How many can we get to bounce? Yeah, they bounce back. If I had a time slow effect, I could theoretically get all of them to be bouncing onto me. I really want to get Bladeskrieg on Chrono Saffron. I feel like there might be a cap on how many blades are allowed to bounce. This doesn't seem like as many blades as I've cast. Who next? Good question. Let us spin the wheel. Arya. Arya is next. Arya is really interesting. Gunner. I mean, I'm willing to take a chat request, but I think Arya would be fun. So the way that Arya's kit works is her weapon actually poisons her, but it also gives you 1.5 mana per second. You want to see Gunner? Gunner... Maybe we'll do another run after for Gunner. Well, actually Gunner's fast. I don't know. Gunner's boring. Hold the right trigger and win. I'm gonna do Arya first. If we do another run after, maybe Gunner, although I also kind of want to show off Celici Invade. So we'll do this for now. So the one major downside to Arya is if you ever don't use your buster, you die. If you let poison proc, you're dead. Also, you cannot use Detox, or you're also dead. You can use Venoshock though if you want to go poison. Yeah, no problem. I actually have a few gunner runs up on my YouTube channel if you're super interested. They're all Jam Slam runs though, I think. Use detox once the run ended. I think I'm gonna take mid T here. Can I say that they're jam-packed? Yeah, absolutely. We going for cracks? They're good synergies with cracks. Well, there's like 2 synergies with cracks. Even in progress jam run. Terra's loop runs are legendary. It'd be cool to show off. Iron Will, Thunder, or Rock Cycle. Personally, I think we should go for a poison deck, since we are playing the poison character. Yeah, Iron Will, if we do end up going poison, poison dodges shields, so Iron Will would be fine. I'm gonna remove... I think Incline is a really bad card. But is it worse than Sapphire Ring? The problem with Incline is that the projectiles move so slowly. I don't think it's worse. I don't think there's much that's worse than Sapphire Ring. The Kunai Ring. Mana regen ring. The rings are mostly all bad. That seems strong. Trinity is a potential path as well. This card, +2 shots. This is insane. How many shots he's throwing out? Coldstone's also good. It already applies Frost on Flowcast, so having another Frost chance is also nice. If Trinity is full, it refreshes Trinity. Yeah. But you need to fill Trinity once. Twinferno does this, it's kind of not good. It does give me max HP though, which I know Terra likes. Did we take Flow? No, we took Trinity. 5 mana is kind of the upper bound of what things can realistically cost. Being at 5 mana wouldn't be bad. Blades of Glory is only really great if we get Thermite. Rock Tumbler is potentially good, admittedly. Although I predict we won't be shuffling that much. So I've never actually won a run with Arya, by the way. Just want to throw that out there. How? I've played it like twice and I didn't really get it at the time. Ion Cannon for the crack synergies. I like it. Get that mana regen going. I do agree. If you get a broken build, the character doesn't matter anymore. For sure. Now, do we try to go Trinity? Or do we try to go Poison? What do you guys think? Trinity? Poison? Trinity? We have strong cards for Trinity and Poison already. Trinity / Crack. I think that would be Hearth. Child Destruction. Yeah. Okay, we'll do Trinity and Crack. If we see Poison, like why not? We kind of want Venoshock to make it good though. The thing about Sludge Bomb is kind of just does good damage even disregarding the Poison. Yeah, the characters do have a buster of some kind. This character's buster actually makes you gain Poison and mana the longer you stand still. So she sort of has infinite mana. I know you guys are taking a Melvin. Okay, so this doesn't break for 6 seconds, which is actually really bad. It also locks me out of Aurora. It is a poison card. It does apply 40 poison. This also breaks 2 panels, technically. Requires me to stand still though. Blue Blood is the best artifact in the game. Just throwing that out there. Turns out starting with max mana is really powerful. Alright, disagreed. Name a better artifact, Terra. Ghost Costume? Ghost Costume is pretty good. Right. It's a strong 2-way draw for second, if you consider Ghost Costume. And then maybe Pocket Sand is like right below Ghost Costume. Nothing. I would almost consider Blue Blood better than Ghost Costume. The only reason you would argue against Blue Blood is that you can just have a bunch of mana regen and then it doesn't matter. For an upgrade on Sludge Bomb. Kind of lame upgrades. Storing half mana would be okay, but we do have like pretty much infinite mana. Double damage and consume. If we want to go hard on Trinity and mostly ignore poison, this is honestly an okay take. The 10 shield is pretty well worthless, I would say. Dragonator with the save. I would still pretty much always like we're gonna cast this at least twice anyway. It's the point of skipping an upgrade. So upgraded things cost more upgrades to upgrade again in the future. You can see in the right hand side of the card that this one costs 2 upgrades for another upgrade. So skipping the upgrade will let us upgrade it again later for cheaper if none of the upgrades are very helpful, which they won't. You know, technically Rock Tomb is pretty decent for us. It gives them shield, but do we care that much? It's 40 shield, and it does 200 damage and consumes. This is an 800 damage card. Like, it's hard to argue with that kind of damage, right? It's homing as well. If we have flow, that's strictly 800 damage. Do we have a way to gain flow? Oof. Brutal. Saving or killing this run? Always save Reva. Ooh. She won our last run, right? No, that's scripted. Once you beat Terrible, you'll always get saved by Reva. Even if you've already used her revive. Chat has become more active. That tends to happen though. We're just further in the stream now. Takes time for people to show up. I honestly agree with Skip here. None of these really suit the character or what we're building right now. Which is honestly kind of what you build on this character. Just big mana, big damage. Got saved by Saffron last round, did I? Is it random now? Oh no, it's Reva's, so it was Saffron. Oh, what am I gonna upgrade? All the best cards are already upgraded, so I guess I'd do Sledge Bomb again. Or we can save it for now. Probably save it. It would be bad. No. Hazel? Hazel would be kind of bad. Hazel will get easier the later in the game I do her though. Upgrade Amalgam? It's already upgraded, isn't it? Look, Poison ignores defense, so this guy's just good. Venoshock would enable a poison build. Presumably there's no way I can hit myself with this. Looks like it's good. Do we have time left? We can upgrade this, I think. Double cast, 25% additional poison, or shield. Something I did notice from the preview is that it seems to be applying poison equal to the damage it's dealing as well. So I think it does damage equal to the poison, and then poison's equal to the poison. That seems to be that looks like what's happening in the preview. We'll take it for science since I have the choice to. Even though double cast is probably way better. We're gonna take it for science. I think double cast is better. Like, strictly speaking. But let's also get rid of Hearth doesn't have that many good cards. So we'll do Misery. Top path, I guess. It definitely applied poison. That would make Twoxen obsolete. Gave him 15. Yeah. I think we're going into poison over Trinity. That's like we can do both, right? I think the weakest thing we have going for us is cracks. So I replaced that one. Poison isn't affected by spell power though. So maybe we set double Misery for now. Tri-Shot's good enough to beat Trinity on its own. And we can always take things if they pop up anyway. I believe that Mana Jam is just mathematically worth it. I think. It depends how many times you cycle your deck. But we have a big deck, so it won't matter much anyway. But we get lots of mana generation anyway. You could look at that as a reason to or to not to take it. Pinwheel does nothing for us. I don't use haste. I kind of just don't like it. It doesn't really feel like it does much. You can move super fast anyway. Medkits. This is only 40 health. None of these help a whole lot, so I'm not really opposed to Pinwheel. Oops. So Detox will kill us on cast. Casting this literally kills us. We die. Poison Dart's poisons energy though. Yeah, Detox works on yourself now, so it would be extremely not good. Potentially. Things can weirdly go through invulnerability though. I'm pretty sure Frost ignores invulnerability, for example. There's probably a decent chance that Poison and Detox do as well. I have died on a literally invulnerable run. through like dual disc and pocket sand. And I've definitely had Ghost Costume and taken damage in the first 7 seconds before as well. I think I in fact had both that round. I think this got changed to not actually consume fragile stacks anymore. Which I believe it used to. Yeah, I don't ever take step drone personally. It does trigger cactus in self-defense. It also damages hostages and can accidentally kill bosses. My opinion on the spread is that Cold Stone is a good card, and that's about all I have to say about this. Looks like a skip. Do we want any upgrades? Sludge bomb. We're gonna be going poison. Fire on hit. The splash damage doesn't cause poison to the splashed tiles. It just does 4 damage. I feel like the flame on hit is probably the best. Yeah, no double cast. Double cast or extra poison on hit, or even frost on hit would probably be the best ones. Let's get rid of Incline at this point. Cell Shield, you don't have any anyway. Do I care about 5 luck though? What poison cards are we looking for that require luck? This helps with artifacts. That applied 25 poison. With no poison on the target. It doesn't say it does that. Is it just bugged? Is 25% of 0 25? It might be 20 poison. Yeah. It might apply 20 poison. I don't know, Sarah. Maybe like it could be bugged, right? I don't know how it works. The real question is, does Thomas know how it works? I'm sure he could look it up. Oh, really? Okay, well, we're stuck with poison. So remember, we've already killed the first boss. According to the game files, it applies 20 poison. Cool. Now we know. Kill. Oops. Do we want free healing, a bad ring that isn't even good on our character, or literally nothing for 2 mana? Zero. I think health potion is actually pretty good. Heal each fight anyway. That's true. For 160. Yeah, okay, I think skipping is fair here. I think on any other character I would always take health potion. Unless my deck is very specific and it would hurt to have a card. Like, I probably wouldn't take it in Kunai, or like a switch bait run. Thanks, Dragonator. And thanks for watching. It's a lot of fun. Yes, thank you to everyone. Even though you're going easy on them. Hey, okay? We want to win here. I mean, yeah, we do want Arrow to succeed in the end. It gives me knife belt. I mean, compared to the options, it's honestly, like, definitely better to take than the other ones, but having the kunais annoys me. For pretty much no decent reason, but it does. Frostbolt, Undertow, or Base, I mean Forte. There are the threes. Yeah, with infinite mana, it's pretty good. Five. Speaking of infinite mana, this jam deck is something else. Terra's having the run of his life, apparently. Yeah, for like the 3rd time. See the screenshot in fan games? I didn't. Wait, in fan games? Oh, is that the same jam run? That's crazy. Why, you have permanent fragile? Wait, 99 mana. We got double cast. That's strictly better than 25% poison, which just ups it to 50. Restoring 0.5 mana is not very useful. What's your favorite upgrade and why is it double cast? It actually depends a lot on the card for me. I think double cast is usually decent value. Especially the way that rotating or like cycling works at the moment. I think on shield cards, double cast is usually the best. On this character, double cast is the best because the mana cost doesn't really matter at all. More often than not, you're very happy to see double cast. On anything. This is another situation where Shields Up and Revenge are pretty strong cards, but I only really take them sometimes. I never take Revenge, first of all. It's strictly good, I just never take it. Shields Up I only really take in shield decks. Consume healing, gain 5 max HP is actually fantastic. It is super good. We don't shuffle that much, but I could see 40 money not being very good. Can you explain why? It's just... since it consumes, it gets removed from your deck after one cycle. And gaining 5 max HP is really useful. Like over the course of a whole run, you can rack up a lot of extra HP from those cards. Especially, you can find it randomly on like 0 cost and 1 cost cards. It tends to be better than not to take them. Unless you have a really finicky deck. Yeah, for looping in particular, you can build up so much HP. You can end up with runs that have thousands of max HP, tens of thousands of max HP. Terra had a limit break run where he had over 20,000 max HP. And that pretty much all came from consume, heal, and gain 5 max HP. One doesn't matter, but I prefer to the other two most of the time. Blaze of Glory only matters if we find Thermite. We find Poison Vial. We're only on 3. I don't like buying Mining Rig. mean, honestly, we should upgrade Sludge Bomb again. We got +4 shots and jam on the far right, which is good. That's a lot of extra poison. Spell power doesn't work on poison, I don't think. I might be misremembering, to be fair. We do anything with one upgrade? Could upgrade Poison Dart. Eh. So this says poison, but the hit range is so bad that I actually think it's maybe the worst poison card. Interestingly, Skipper is pretty good in some decks now. It lowers the target's defense. Really good at like spell power decks. How do you unlock Arya, by the way? Every base kit, or every alternate kit except Solo Saffron can be unlocked by either looping or beating the gate. Solo Saffron can only be unlocked by executing Seraph. Yeah, Poison Tails is like Badlands. Wait. Hello? Save or kill. Nice burst. Thanks. Got Poison card. Spell Power Ring is actually one of the ones that I think could potentially be useful. Spell Power builds. It's not good for us right now though, of course. Poison doesn't care. Laser Turret I think is just worse than the regular turret that you start with on Hazel. It's piercing, which is a consideration, but most of the time you don't care. And it consumes, so you can only have one out. You want granite, right? We get the crack synergy. Blue flame is good too, though. Even though we don't really need it, I still like to have the mana regen. I think personally I would take granite here, though. Leech is another card I take in almost every deck. However, I don't think it's particularly useful in this one. Because we heal anyway, for 160 every battle. Mistletoe is one of those bad root cards. Root is potentially useful for us, and it does apply poison. I mean, that's okay damage. Maybe it's not that bad. I prefer root cards that only cost one. Yeah, it does have poison. Applies 30 poison. Does 120 damage. It's pretty decent. Cool. Oops. It's actually a really nice shields up. Typically you'd like to see that. This shields up I would actually be tempted to take outside of shield decks. Depending on the deck I'm running, I probably would take it. 1 mana 60 shield. That's the same efficiency as shield catch, but you don't have to catch it. We do have Forte, yeah. It consumes and we have infinite mana, so there's no reason to remove it. But we don't really have a cash out for shields, it's just defense. However, I think the defense is worth something. So in most cases I probably take shields up there. Including this one. Imagine killing a chest with poison. I know, right? The only thing I've removed this run was one of our starting cards, right? I think so. So this is actually pretty good now that it doesn't anchor. This card got considerably better. This is Trinity though, which is we have in our deck. Rest is like the third healing card, but I don't take this one because I really dislike anchor. One damage Ragnarok. Ragnarok does 300 damage 4 tiles away. I don't know if it'll show you. There you go. Did 350 actually. I think that's because it still throws the projectile. Not sure. I would have taken Ragnarok if it was a tie. None of these are very good. Yeah, the Trinity games we have, it's really good for tri-shot bursts. Mana Steal is kind of just always good. And if you do get this off, it's a 1 mana Ragnarok, which is really strong. Good damage. And if you don't, it gives you 1 Trinity for Trier. What's the other one called? Tri-shot. Again, spell power doesn't affect poison. Our mana gain is fast enough that 0.1 mana regen doesn't really make a difference. Bulwark, I guess. It even affects our defense affects our shields, which is base defense 0. So yeah, it might do something eventually. I'm actually tempted to take Beaker just because Self-Fragile helps Rock Tomb, but I don't think it helps enough. Making Kunai's cost 1 mana is like pretty much bad in every single situation you could want to cast Kunai's. Oh, we need to upgrade Smog, so I'll take that. I think Fragile can affect poison, but it's kind of hard to work, so I'm not going to bother taking it out. We'll take a precautionary remove. Do we care about half mana regen for 2 rounds? No, not at all. We don't care about spell power. Upgrade Smog at least once. We got double cast and we got more poison. Double cast looks pretty good. More poison's okay though. It's what, 15 extra poison per hit? You need sleep. Don't worry, this is gonna be the last run. I would potentially be convinced to show off Invade Celibacy, but I wouldn't be check controlled, it would be a speedrun. I think... Oh no, we can't upgrade Sludge Bomb again. Do we upgrade Smog again? We upgrade Smog again. There you go, plus 4 shots in Jam. Do we want to hit pretty much every single tile per cast? Or do we want the 25% extra poison now? I think they're both valid. The extra poison has higher potential payout. The plus 4 shots is for consistency. We have 2 removes. I think I'll get rid of Iron Will. Honestly, I don't really think anything else is worth getting rid of. Maybe Skewer. It's not doing enough and puts a jam in our deck. We don't have jam synergy, right? No. Wow, our mana regen is really slow though. We might take a couple poison hits. These are not great. I mean, to be fair, blue bullets in. Even in our deck right now isn't that bad. But in a spell power deck, it's really good. Self-defense turret's like Guardian. But it only has 100 health, so it's not that strong. It's pretty good. Not terrible. I'm not gonna take it, because you've given me the chance to skip it. But like a bad Guardian. Yeah, exactly. This mana regen thing is causing a way bigger problem than I expected. Luckily, it's going to be gone now. This is why mana regen is still important. 0, we need health. We gain 160 health every battle. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Just want me to fight the gate. Looks like a 1. Yeah, since we have blue blood, it wouldn't be that bad with more max mana. Have we saved this run? No, we have not. Some of the turrets make me question, like, why? It's like as bad for you as it is for the enemy. Yeah, the cross turret having friendly fire makes it awkward to use. If you pick upgrade, what would I upgrade? I'll probably hold it for a while. Who have we fought? We fought Shiso, right? Again, casting Detox would instantly kill us. So, if you want me to have to deal with that, you could go for it. I have no idea, lol. It's probably just a bug. I didn't notice, to be honest. Meditate does give us Trinity. It's interesting. Do I actually take Detox? 0.6 mana. I don't think our mana regen is high enough for me to bail on the self-poison. I think blue bullets is okay for us. Does up to 10 damage per hit, 20 times. You can do up to 200 damage. Two's free HP. It costs 2. Oh, so this is one of those cards that gets poison. It does this until I move. These stay still cards I think are all really bad. I don't think any of them are worth taking. Also, you would die. I mean, eventually. Infinity Beam, I think, is okay. I wouldn't say I like it. But it's the one I'm the most okay with. More mana is always good. The other two don't do a whole lot for us. It's on shuffle. We actually haven't been shuffling pretty much at all. So Magnifying Glass is usually really good. I don't think we have Self-Fragile, but we also don't apply Fragile, and using Fragile when we did apply it would be difficult. So I don't think Magnifying Glass is very good for us. That said, I stand by the fact that Paper Wallet is a horrible artifact. Even on a high roll of 40 money, it's just not very useful. Yeah, money is better than like a literally useless artifact, for sure. We do have the opportunity to take Fragile now, ironically. Though I'm not convinced Fragile does that much for us. The bomb will actually also explode if it hits the target. Not explode, sorry. It'll deal the 150 damage. But not in an AoE. Wobble does this. Since you guys voted for it, I'll show it off. It's, it should do okay damage if you get things stuck in there. And it's good with caltrops. It's just like, the payout isn't worth the setup, in my opinion. I don't feel like we need to do anything to it yet. Maybe remove acid rain. I'm gonna save the removal in case I get something bad. I don't think acid rain needs to come in. We're also not actually close at all to another mana regen, if one even exists. Do I type for donate blood? If there's a reason to do it, then I do it. Do we have Flowcast? I don't think we do, right? Elysium is nuts since they upped it to 50. I think this card is ridiculous. Or this artifact, sorry. It's so much damage. What cards do really well with on-flow casts, though? Any card that does something on flow casts benefits a lot from being cast twice. Elysium in a flow deck is super good. Flow's pretty fun. Rock Tomb and Rock Cycle don't really do much. Fracture's good, Tremor's good. The Ice Rock's good. I forget what it's called at this point. Tsunami's like the opposite of the one that pulls them forward, pushes them back. Cold Stone, that's it. Thank you, Tara. Doubling the on flow. It literally casts the spell twice, 50% of the time. %50 of the time, let me put it this way, 50% of the time, your Tremor does 280 damage and repairs the tiles automatically. I guess it would be repairing the tiles either way. But like 50% of the time you're dealing 280 damage instead of 140 with Tremor. Only vote. Did Terra fight me? What did I take? Innervate's fine. We have some synergy with Innervate. I believe it's a double cast. I'd have to reread the artifact, but that's how I've always read it. I'll be honest, I don't really notice what my cards are doing that much when I actually play flow, because I'm usually thinking about my flow stacks, plus dodging, plus trying not to screw myself with cracked panels. Yeah, plus it's a purple rarity, so I've only gotten it a couple times. I don't think I've gotten it at all since it switched to 50, but I think it's a really good artifact. Unlike Empowering Ring. I also think Soulfire is not very good. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Elysium reads 50% chance to trigger Flowcast twice, which to me means you cast twice, 50% of the time that you have a flow proc and cast a flow cast card. No votes. Guys asleep? I'm skipping if you don't vote. Even if there are good cards in there. You guys are as checked out of this run as I am. The double cast Blizzard. Is this the good one? No, slowly rain down shots. There are two cards that do an effect like this, and one of them lands a lot faster and costs less mana, and is good, unlike Blizzard. Collect Ring is almost... I want to call it the worst, one of the worst cards in the game, but there's a caveat to that, because it's actually fine in Kunai Shiso's starting deck, because you start off and it's actually more efficient to just hold this and use your mana on your buster than to try to cycle your deck. Also free achievement, is it? What achievement? Pinch. Self-fragile. Having a big deck. What were we talking about again? Terra, please. You are about 1 vote, but you're the only 1 vote. Mana Vein, Gelatin, or Laser Pointer? We do have some gems. I'm not super into any of them. Mana Vein is more helpful than not having Mana Vein. But then, technically having all of these is more helpful than not having all of these. I'm gonna go with 1. Why does this thing have so much health? Of course it broke the snake out. Apparently snakes give money and EXP. It's not pointless freeing them. Interesting. That does make sense. Bismuth or undershirt? I stand by Bismuth not being very good. They're also evil terrors. The nightmare snakes are pretty bad. They're a nuisance in this deck. I actually don't think they're that big a deal for some decks. Is okay in very spammy decks. I think it still sucks even in Kunai or Virus Spell, because 3 shield is just not enough to be useful. Especially because those decks tend to cycle very quick. So most of the shield you just lose. Pandemic's a really good prison card, I think. Our deck is huge. What was this? 18 cards? Runner, you're overestimate. It's fine. I'll buy an upgrade and we'll upgrade Pandemic again. This is kind of sad. These are all bad. At the very least, I probably don't want it to consume. 10 shield or -1 mana, I could take or leave any of them. Sell location, do what you want. Terra, no! Is a draw. Comet just barely missed the deadline, so I'll skip. But I don't think we're going to be upgrading it again, so I would have been okay to take the -1 mana. Comment did vote for skip, by the way. Anyone if you're watching a VOD or something. I will sell location. Got him. You know what? We will upgrade it again. What's our max mana? Do we need 6 mana? We got double cast on the middle. Otherwise it's just regen, which we don't care much about. It's like 3 mana, apply 120 poison, plus that you don't have to aim. I still think 2-cost cards are like by far the best value for double cast. Because it's only a 50% mana increase for double B effect. It's just so strong. Remove. Get rid of Ion Cannon at this point. Mistletoe does apply poison, so I should probably keep it. Acid Rain is just annoying. Double cast on 0-cost cards. It's generally okay. Oh god, what have I done? I'm dead, by the way. That was definitely intentional, not a coincidence. Oh my gosh. Oh my god, I'm dead. I tried. Oh, I forgot it does this. Oh, I got hit by the poison. No! Alright, I killed myself with soul location. I had to do it. Someone said I wouldn't. Alright. I'll do this invade Cersei run. This one's not going to be check control though. Fight the shopkeeper. I do think I will try to do a genocide run. True Geno. This is going to be more of a speed run though, so I'll actually also reset the timer. Ah, nah. Whatever, it's fine. We use in-game time anyway. So this is going to be more of a proper speedrun, so excuse me if I talk a little bit less. Oh my gosh. Ah yeah, like I said, speedrun. Okay. So I'm going to do an Invade Cersei True Genocide speedrun attempt. What about time? We use the in-game timer, who cares? Oh, I'm actually not supposed to have remains, so I'm gonna abandon this one too. I'm not sure we necessarily have a rule against using them, but... that was a complicated fight. Hello, Nia. Welcome. So in speedruns, you really want to get... That's pretty good. In speedruns, you really want to get blue blood as fast as possible. There are also a couple upgrades I want for crossfire. Oops. Including double cast and then plus shots, probably. We'll take fragile on hit though. We'll try to kill the shopkeeper after I get my upgrades. I really don't care about boss order also. Top path super fast. I'm trying not to go like recklessly fast so that I actually win. But typically you would probably go faster than this if you were doing an actual speedrun effect. You would also use the mouse for rewards, but I kind of don't care. It's a lot of effort. Oops. I actually shouldn't have taken fragile on hit. I forgot that my buster is going to eat most of that. We got double cast. I'll fight her now. I actually do not know how to dodge that attack. It's really inconvenient of you to do that. The way I should have dodged it is by going to her side of the field. Echo is the other card that we want, actually. We'll take that. I need a removal now. We want double cast on Echo. We pretty much won't take any substitutes for that. Stand next to her. Can you stand next to her? Didn't she do it from like the middle? Is that not what you meant by next to her? Like, honestly? Right, there are no shops now. Technically, you should do that later because shops are powerful. I do kind of want a removal as well, which is awkward. Luckily, we'll probably get one from the boss. Well, at least a boss. Was she on the edge of my area? I don't remember. She was? I see. Three. Honestly, without blue blood, haste is doing work. I guess it's worth noting in a speedrun, what I'm looking for on the map screen are the paths that have the most distress beacons and or shops and campfires. So right now it's going to be always campfire because it's going to be however I can get to the campfire that also has the most distress beacons because we don't have shops. Which is also why, technically speaking, I should kill the shopkeeper on the last floor possible. Maybe. Yeah, she will have more HP though, so it is a bit of a trade-off because she gets a little bit harder. I haven't done any mods yet. I know the speedrun community is really enjoying the boss rush mod, at least a couple people in it. Someone wrote us a scriptable auto splitter as well, which is cool. Need 3 upgrades for upgrades to be useful. Love the Metar mod. I haven't seen any of the BN ones. I know of a few that exist, I just haven't looked into any of the mod stuff yet. Roll soul mod. Sounds fantastic. Joke's on you, my shot was instant. Uranium probably would have been good. I guess it doesn't do quite that much. Eight damage for how much we're using. Or for how much we're dealing per hit is not very good. I actually think the bottom path might be faster than the campfire. Okay, with blue blood it would definitely be, but potentially actually not on this one. There was a chest as well, which is annoying. This chest is fine. Yeah, this build's really powerful. I don't care about soul food. Build's kind of okay. You know, no big deal. Frost Kitty's actually not very good here because I'm going to be standing on top of them. So it's actually not going to hit them with the frost. But hey, you see Frost Kitty, you have to take Frost Kitty. Oops. Oh my gosh. Spaghetti. Oh, you know what? I should have used Frost against that enemy. Riven moves way too much. Oh my gosh, please. The worst. How many upgrades do we have? We do have 3. Could have taken shield, I guess. They were all bad. Not having blue blood makes the start of fights really dangerous also. That thing throws a turret onto a random tile, and I just happened to choose the one that I was standing on. That is so annoying. Well, that has been one step for me then. That's all for today's stream. Thank you all so much for watching. I had a bunch of fun. We're trying to do streams more often on this channel, which is kind of why I've come on and done this tonight. I want to try to keep at least a Saturday stream going on the team channel as long as possible. I forget if we have anything planned for next week. I think we might expect something to happen next week. I'm pretty sure there is something, but I don't recall what it was.